Right.
Okay, so we're talking about the Black experience. We're talking about the experiences that our students get at ECSU. So we started by talking about, and this is Dr. Swan, by the way. Hey, y'all. We started talking about how close we are to Williamsburg, but this all started from our preparation for preparing for tour in about 3 weeks. And we're now talking to our alums, and we're trying to figure out ways that we can partner and give our students the best experience. And I shared with the students that sometimes we don't learn ourselves when we don't learn about other cultures. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn about who we are and how we fit. The other part of that was about being on a black campus. Sometimes you can be overly saturated with blackness that you don't learn what you need to learn because you're just doing what you're familiar with.
Mhm.
So we had two students that's talking about this. And what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I'll let you start first because you ended off with something really.
I don't really think this campus promotes the blackness as much. I I believe that I believe if you go to HBCU and HBCU that really promotes the blackness or the black community, you should be promoting being proud, being black, and you should learn about the history of the black culture. And I just feel like that's not what happens here. I feel like you could be proud to be a Viking, which is that's okay too. But for it to be an HBCU, you don't really learn about previous the previous black culture or historians that have done something for our community or done something for us as people. We don't really learn that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I have taken an African American history class here,
Mhm.
and we learned about a certain time period,
Right.
which is
Before and after 1875.
which
Yeah.
is okay. I learned a lot about slaves, which we know about slaves. We learn about it, in which it's okay to learn that because it's stuff that we're not taught in high school. But there's more between today and slavery. You don't learn anything in between. Like there's there's certain people that we always hear about,
Mm-hmm.
like Martin Luther King,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so many more people
Yep.
that we could learn from. Because the civil rights movement wasn't just Martin Luther King, but we'll never learn that because they never speak about it in high school. So I feel like when you go to a HBCU, it should be talked about more. And that not even just civil rights movement, just every black leader or somebody that has paved the way for us to be where we at today. I feel like we don't get to learn about those people. We don't truly get to understand why our culture the way it is.
Mhm.
Black people aren't just partying. Black people aren't fried chicken Wednesday. That ain't exactly who we are. I mean,
Yeah.
we love fried chicken, of course, and we love partying, of course. But it's like
It's more to it.
every HBCU will give you that. What do this school do different that we could learn from that us as people would be proud of? Like I'm a person. I had told you when we met that I love to say that we are kings. This school doesn't tell us why we are kings and queens. The school doesn't tell us why we are different from other people, other cultures. We don't learn that here. We're just supposed to say, we're black and we're proud. Why are you proud?
Yep.
The school not gonna tell you how you proud. Now it could be we could be leaders. Don't get me wrong. We could promote it, but at HBCU we shouldn't have to promote it by ourselves on our own. But that's kind of
So
awesome.
who are you?
I believe.
Who are you? What's your name? Where are
Oh,
you?
yeah. My name is Joshua Baker. I'm a senior. I'm a business student. But before all of that, I still was a king.
So now I need you to look in that camera and say that and stop looking at this
Yeah.
like a king.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Baker. From Farmville, North Carolina. I'm a business student. I'm a senior. Like I said, as a black person, I was born a king. When they lay me down, I'll be a king. I'm a king as I speak into this camera.
I don't think I have anything else to say. I don't have anything. I can just speak to what you said about different cultures teaching us. I something that I can remember when I was in elementary school. Like you said, we're taught about other cultures. We were taught about the Boston Tea Party, and one thing about that they were heavy on was the Boston Tea Party massacre. And I can't remember his name, but it was a black man that stood in the middle that unfortunately died during that massacre. But
The first one to die for the country.
exactly, and so that's something that, like you said, we're taught through other cultures, because I wouldn't have known that if we weren't taught about the Boston Tea Party to suffice another culture.
And I want you to never forget the name Crispus Attucks. That is
Crispus
his
Attucks.
name. He was the person who was the first person to die for this country, a black man.
You see that, just that, like, where I feel like there should be, we have, you know, the inclusivity, but we need to focus more on what makes us black, what makes us black and proud. Just like you said, like I don't know anything. Like I'm not gonna. We only taught through that, through other cultures, and you know why.
Yeah, and when you have so many, you guys have so much to offer. I see so much raw talent in each and every one of you, and I shared with the choir, my job is really something that people don't think about, and that is to peel off the layers and to peel off the barnacles, to clean the scales off your eyes and your ears, and to help you to see something that you might not normally see, or how you might not consider going into the next realm of your lives. I love that, Josh, when you talked about being a black king. We have always, up until recently, taught our people to be the kings and queens, and we looked the part. We act the part. We became the part. And the power that is within us as a culture of black people, we're at a point in life now to where, do you realize you are a commodity in America because of the deaths of so many of us?
Right.
More people are paying attention to black Americans, and because they are giving in to a certain degree, we think we're winning. But are we really getting what we're asking for? Because still other people are dying for the same stupidity. But you are on an HBCU campus where you stated you don't feel that you're getting true black culture as it is, but you are a business major trying to get to the next level, teaching entrepreneurship, teaching those major legacy lessons from our campus. That is very important, yeah?
Yeah.
So what can we do to change that?
I mean, we have conversations on campus, but I feel like we need more conversations. The only time that we talk and have a conversation is, say, for instance, when, like, during homecoming, we had Jay Alphonse come, and it was because he was talking about, coming up in the acting career, but also, playing a gay part as a straight man. We have conversations like that. We have conversations like when we had the other night when I know I'm forgetting names, but when the black man that just got killed recently, we had a conversation about how that impacted the black students on campus, and some students came out and the guidance counselors were there, to be in that area because it was very emotional. But we don't have any.
Talk about Tyree.
Yes,
okay.
But we don't have any conversations just to survive as a black student, to be a black student. We need more mental awareness conversations. We need more futuristic conversations, because we have certain teachers, like, I can come to you and be like, okay, doc, this is what I want to do for my future. How are the possible ways I can go around it? But other students are also wondering that same question. So if we can include those more conversations and have it in with more open-minded adults that are willing to pour into us, then I feel like we will grow as students.
Wow, that's some good stuff, man. And I don't mean to be chauvinistic by saying, man, that's some good stuff. I think it goes beyond the conversation. I think we've had as much conversation as we need to have. I think there needs to be action. Those sit-ins, it was the actions that changed and gave you a seat at the table. Again, Langston Hughes, he wrote the poem I Too. Are you familiar with that poem? Are you familiar with that poem? I too sing America. I have the darker brother. You know, I mean, he labeled himself as a brother. Regardless, I'm just dark.
Yeah.
They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and I eat and I grow strong. Tomorrow I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat at the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am, and they'll be ashamed. To really show and to have a campus that's about beauty, why are you not marketing yourselves? Why is SGA not marketing the power through the beauty of who we are? To make sure that we are getting up in the mornings and we are getting ourselves together and we're walking on campus with a piece of pride and strut, you know, in our steps, and making sure that Black excellence is truly the forefront of this institution.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because there are some people who are afraid that if you guys do that, it's going to cause an uproar. But what's wrong with causing an uproar or conflict if you're going to make a change?
It's the only time we'll be heard.
That's when and you don't have to be boisterous about it. Again, if you look at Martin Luther King, you know, his thing was nonviolence. But to look at the impact, okay, even though it was very violent, right? And the ones who were more militant, if you will, okay, and you know who exactly I'm talking about, the opposite end of the spectrum, who is, come on, say it again, Malcolm X. Exactly. You know, they find a way to get some of us to go in and infiltrate so that, you know, they can intel and get the information to go in and kill the man. It's still conflict and violence. Say it again.
So just like Fred Hampton.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Who is Fred Hampton?
Leader of the Black Panther Party.
Exactly. But you got to say it where they can hear.
The leader of the Black Panther Party.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many students who know this Black history because they're digging. But like you say, we don't really teach it from that perspective or those angles. I have had so many kids, some who are in the DC area now, they are straight up all about the power of Black power, Black excellence, Black pride. Completely loopy, it appeared when they were here. But their brains, through music, through artistic expression, many of them have written books right in DC, who sat in that very room right there, in that choir room. So, as an instructor, we'll close this one out, but as an instructor, I would like to see you guys get the experiences through the education as opposed to getting through school and then going out to be educated. It's as simple as that. That's all we have for you today.